Alright everyone, the big day is here. Several weeks actually earlier than expected, partially because of Donald Trump himself, which is ironic. I've hit 100,000 subscribers now on Bitchute. The first person to do that, there will be a silver award. By the way, now 6 people will be randomly selected for prizes. A grand prize of $250, which will be randomly selected from all of the active accounts that have subscribed to the channel, and 5 runners-up. Each of them will receive $50 and a hat as well from Bitchute. Anyway, I thought I would use my celebration video here actually as an opportunity to help others, because when you boost one another, you boost a platform. This is one of the big things that I've talked about now for years with regards to alt tech, with regards to independent content creators. You give to others, spread word around. The average person, they're not just going to watch my videos in a day. There are plenty of other worthy people to watch too. So here are 10 people and their Bitchute accounts. Links in the description of this video, cross-platform. On YouTube, I will pin a comment with these 10 links as well. You can go and you can subscribe to these people. You can watch their material. Many of them are on other platforms as well. However, Bitchute is, as you can see, a rather quickly growing platform. Once you get to the point where a platform is capable of generating that kind of audience, it is viable. You never saw that on VidMe. I think I was number 3 on that platform. I had 20,000 people follow me, and that was a great thing at the time. 100K is a big thing on a platform that primarily relies upon third-party content. So here are the 10 links in order. Number 1, of course, my beautiful wife, Elizabeth's Philosophy, who I actually have to talk to Ray, because I believe her channel doesn't actually have the unique channel name yet. Like the URL itself is unique, but the channel name is still a bunch of numbers, I think. But she makes cooking videos, or did. We've done videos together, various philosophy. Why do you think I've gained weight? You know, I get home-cooked meals all the time. She's not cooking, I am, so it's a big caloric problem. So you should definitely check out her content. I would class it as being number 1 enlightening, but also relaxing, number 2, which is 2 of the big things that you need in content anyway. It's just a channel of good feels, I think, and I really respect that. And so that's link number 1. Number 2 is Ramsey Paul, actually the host of Happy Homelands, for whom I co-host weekly. All of his archival material, all of that old great Ramsey content from years and years past is all on Bitchute for you to peruse. It's not just the new stuff. He actually rolls over every month or other month, roughly, and makes all of the content he puts on YouTube private because their TOS keep changing. On Bitchute, no problems. It's all there. Enormous loads of content, and some of that stuff from the 2016 election was hilarious. You'd get all whipped up and be making sarcastic. He's got sort of a sarcastic, dry humor that I really, really like. Should go into comedy, actually, to some extent. I think it'd be hilarious. We should make a political comedy together. But Ramsey Paul is number 2. Number 3 is Razor Fist. This goes without saying that he'd be on this list. He's basically, I guess, my brother from another mother. We have a similar style. He's black and white, and I come in various shades of tan and brown. But other than that, I really like his stuff. His rants, they're legendary. They need no introduction. There's a huge overlap, I know, between people who follow me and follow Razor Fist. But if you didn't know he was on Bitchute, you should definitely check him out as well. Number 4 is Mark Collett, who actually got deplatformed from his bank last week. Well, it's time to fight back. I think this will be a nice little gift for Mark, because then his audience can blossom on Bitchute, a site that's never going to deplatform him. How wonderful. He gets cast off as like hateful and stuff, but I remember like fondly discussing Fallout 4 for quite some time with him when I appeared on his show some time ago thereafter. And he's into gaming and stuff like that. He has a kid, and he seems like a good, wholesome guy to me, to tell the truth. I don't understand, because they call him, they basically, you know, insinuate he's Erwin Rommel or something. I don't know. I don't think so. I think he's just an interesting content creator, both long and shortish form, and a very intelligent guy as well. Number 5, Matt Christensen. And I've been on the show with Matt and Blonde a couple of times, and I like them both. But I don't think, I'm not actually sure that Blonde has an active Bitchute channel. I'll look into that. I'll have to ask Matt. It was funny because just the other day, actually, he was participating on the Jack Dorsey thread on Twitter, where Jack Dorsey's like, well, no, we don't shadow ban people. He completely blew him out of the water. Poor Dorsey gets ratioed partially because Christensen can show you do, objectively. And he's definitely more on the family-friendly side as far as intelligent political commentary, because, like, unlike me, I swear like a drunken sailor, he's more sparing, I think. So you'll find him, I think, a bit more palatable if you have more sensitivities. And he seems like a cool guy, too. Has his show, definitely more of a professional setup than myself, I would say, and really great content as well. And there's some dry sarcasm there, too. I find when I watch channels like that, I chuckle to myself. I'm a chortler, a 32-year-old chortler, and so you should definitely check him out as well. Number 6 is Project Veritas. I probably don't need to explain what they're all about, of course, with James O'Keefe, uncovering corruption and scandals on various levels, especially in the political arena. I have great respect for the dude, and you should definitely be following him as well, because again, especially with that investigative side of things that Veritas does, there is always an ever-present risk, if not of being banned on YouTube, Twitter, whatever, at least being temporarily suspended. And I think it's happened to Veritas a number of times. Never going to happen on Bitchute. Their uploads will always be there. How wonderful. Archived for all of posterity. Again, I don't think Bitchute's ever going to get out of the free speech vlogging arena and suddenly say, oh yeah, we've decided to abandon our mission statement, so screw it. Number 7, Infowars. For anyone that's not aware, Infowars is on the platform, and they are number 2 in subscriber and I believe view count as well. Let's get them to 100K as quickly as possible. The more people, by the way, that hit all these critical thresholds, the more viable the platform becomes. It's a big thing, especially when Bitchute now is approaching the fundraising level at which it'll be able to considerably advance its infrastructure. You have a problem with search? It's being updated. You have a problem with the app? BitSlide exists. I don't know what's happening with iOS because I never use Crapple products. The site's just getting great. And Infowars, whether you agree with Alex Jones or whatever or not, is an integral part of the alt media. It really is. They've been around for a long time, doing their thing. Jones didn't get mass deplatformed off the visible internet for anything that he did wrong. He was mass deplatformed because they just wanted to get rid of him. So it's time to pay the piper for the legacy media now that we've got viable alt-tech platforms to fight back with. Number 8, Sargon of Akkad. Now, Sargon could have arguably become the first to 100K, and I don't know exactly why he did this. He stopped putting stuff on his main channel and switched to Akkad Daily. I'm not 100% sure why. I don't know the backstory, but the dude, I'm repaying him. Because remember due diligence after the 2016 election? My first big break, like the day that I gained 8,000 subscribers in a single day and jumped to 72 or 73,000 over the course of a 24, 48-hour period, that was partially due to Sargon of Akkad mentioning me, by the way, first in his due diligence video actually on YouTube in the wake of the 2016 election. So it's time to boost him as much as possible on Bitchute. I want him to hit 100K. I want him to hit a million eventually. I want all these people to be in the Millionaires Club. I think that we all deserve to be heard. We all have a unique voice. We all have something to say. I don't agree with any of these people completely, except of course for you, Liv. But just a joke for people that are married. But that being said, you've got to shout people out. A lot of people aren't even aware of these alt-tech presences yet because a lot of creators don't shout themselves out regularly. Well, I'll do it for you. Don't worry. It's due diligence time for me, not just for Sargon, but for all these people. Number 9, Stefan Malnu. He's been maligned, he's been called hateful, he's been called a Nazi, he's been called a terrible bigot and deplatformed on YouTube and Twitter. On YouTube, his videos are up, but they're being run by some third party, I guess sort of semi-quasi on his behalf, to my knowledge, which I'll talk about, by the way, tomorrow. But he's got a Bitchute channel, and he's one of the heavy hitters. He's up around, 65,000 subscribers on the platform. Again, a person who has significant clout, a significant editing capability and reasonably large budget. Free domain's a big thing. He's been fucked around on the mainline internet, but on Bitchute he's going just as strong as ever. Considering how long he's been on it, it's probably about equivalent to what he was at the same time on YouTube. I know it is for me. Hell, I'm ahead of where I was on YouTube 3 years in on Bitchute. Malnu's got some great content. Again, he does both short and long form. He does debates. He does educational content. It's sort of a mixed bag. You can go through it and you can probably find at least some material that you like. Some of you like the more analytical stuff. Some of you like a little bit of humor injected into it. I think one time, actually, when I was talking to him, he had, if I remember correctly, he had the leather jacket and no shirt on underneath it. It's a perennial joke about my look from the 2016 era. I think he's a cool guy. I've talked to him a little bit. Really nice. And number 10, and last but not least, Laura Loomer, who actually is fighting an election campaign at the moment, again, link in the description, fighting in the Florida election for the district that encompasses the Mar-a-Lago. We had her on Happy Homelands, and again, although I sparred with her on a few things, I like her anti-censorship stance extremely, and I think it's important. People who have been strongly anti-censorship, who have explicitly, repeatedly, historically, and consistently opposed censorship need to be boosted. As many as possible, especially people like Loomer, who are clearly intelligent, who are very verbally acute, who are capable of delivering a message, getting it across, and having it stick, I think, not just with people that are more knee-jerk in the partisan sense. They'll look at her and say, oh, she's a Republican, I support her. She's a Republican, I oppose her. But people who are more independent, people who are looking for something that's nonpartisan. They need to be convinced of the importance of preserving the First Amendment. It is the utmost priority, especially in the internet era, to preserve the First Amendment and its protections of free speech and free expression. There are problems with billionaires trying to screw with that. Laura Loomer has been on the forefront. She is one of the main figures who has been fighting back against it, especially when she is a nominee for a major party and is still being hampered by a bunch of billionaires. And then there are people that have no problem with this. They need to be convinced otherwise, and so I'm shouting her out as well. So those are 10 channels on Bitchute, the website. And of course, get BitSlide. If you're a smartphone user, you can just Google it, and it's still available there. Again, not sure about Apple devices, but why would you be using one? You got to mature at some point. You got to become an adult, functioning adult. No offense, but rounded corners and dulled colors. It's basically, you're paying twice as much for the same device that was made by Chinese 14-year-old slaves working 12-hour shifts 6 days a week. It's not exactly the greatest thing that I can think of doing with my time. But those are 10 channels. Link in the description, cross-platform. Links pinned on YouTube. You should definitely check these people out. 100K. And there were a lot of people, dude, I remember a few years ago, there were people who thought I'd never hit that on YouTube. Now we're hitting it on a site that technically only has about 1% of the actual size. Bitchute is growing faster than YouTube did. I hope people realize this. If you're a content creator, an independent creator, and you are not taking alt tech seriously, you're missing out. You really are making, I believe, a strategic career blunder that will blunt your growth for the rest of your life. You've got nothing to lose by using Bitchute and Odyssey and all these sites. They will automatically compile the content. You don't even have to do anything manually. Just have a placeholder there. If you want to take the wait-and-see attitude and just put your foot in the door and then leave it there, you can do that. If you want to do what I'm doing, make exclusives, become the biggest user on one of these sites, you can do that too. That's about all. Peace out.